by the Montana Television Network. Montana This Morning continues on Montana's News Leader.
Winter is clearly not over for many parts of the U.S. I'm Laura Podesta. We'll show you the hardest hit areas as a bomb cyclone descends on the Midwest.
Many communities in Butte have neighborhood watches, but I'll tell you how social media is helping neighbors look out for neighbors.
I'm Mike Dennison at the Capitol. So how are Medicaid expansion and Colstrip related? I'll tell you.
First date. Chet Lehman, Missy O'Malley with you here. We'll have those stories in a moment. Our top story this half hour, the second bomb cyclone in less than a month, pounding 6 states in the Midwest, more than 2 feet of snow expected in parts of South Dakota.
Wow, and officials in Minnesota reported more than 200 car accidents yesterday. CBS's Laura Podesta is in New York with our details on the storm.
A springtime blizzard is blanketing parts of the Midwest.
It's typical Wisconsin weather. We get our normal April snowfall.
But this is the second bomb cyclone to hit in the past month, and it's causing major problems from Wisconsin to Colorado.
This could be life-threatening, so we want people to be safe and heed the warnings.
A UPS driver walked away uninjured after his truck careened off a bridge along Interstate 70 in Kansas last night. I-70 was shut down in Colorado earlier in the day because of the slick conditions, but not before several car crashes backed up traffic for miles. About half the flights at Denver International Airport were canceled.
If you would have asked me if the airport was open, I probably would have said no, because there was literally no one in line.
Being stuck at the airport overnight could not dampen the spirits of Jordan and Sarah.
We got engaged.
After an unforgettable trip to the Rockies, the soon-to-be bride and groom hope to catch a flight home today.
Pray that flight doesn't get canceled.
The Colorado Rockies postponed their game against the Atlanta Braves. The Minnesota Twins wish they could have done the same, but they were in New York, losing to the Mets. Down south, it was all fun and games yesterday ahead of the Masters in Augusta, Georgia. But rain from this storm system is expected to disrupt play at one of golf's premier tournaments this weekend. Laura Podesta, CBS News.
Oh, so cute. Now, that storm is definitely wreaking havoc, and including many areas in the Midwest. States are still getting over those massive flooding areas after the snow from the first bomb cyclone melted away. And they hope that this time around the ground will soak in more of that runoff, keeping rivers from cresting.
More to follow on that. Temperature always has a role in some of that, doesn't it?
It really does. And really, more than there's some discussion of whether this is really a bomb cyclone or not that's moving through. It doesn't matter. It's really windy. It's producing a lot of snow, and there's a lot of moisture. So regardless, it does pose a risk. Take every storm, not necessarily at face value. We've had a lot of moisture here, and that's all associated with that same storm as Chet was mentioning. This is month-to-date precipitation, impressive numbers pretty much across the board. Temperatures this morning into the 20s and low 30s. We've had some light snow. We may still see some, especially at pass level, mainly dealing with wet roadways more than anything. Temperatures not warming up dramatically. We're going to go out and meet Chet's little snowman family coming up here in about 10 minutes. You won't want to miss that. We'll be talking about that and more on your weather forecast in just a little bit.
Now 6:33, another top story for you here. Some people are using Facebook for more than just posting pictures of their cats. They're using it to report crimes.
MTN's John Amy tells us how some Facebook pages in Butte are acting more like neighborhood watch programs.
Traditional neighborhood watch programs have been around for decades, but social media sites like Facebook are the new way to watch the neighborhood.
You know, neighbors used to go out and walk the neighborhoods at night. Now they just look on their phone and say, what's going on?
Robert Burgess started Butte America We Just Want to Know page on Facebook about 2 years ago to give people a forum to get information out. The page has now become popular for people reporting crimes in their neighborhood.
It brings awareness. I just saw on my page, I think it was yesterday, somebody had filmed 2 people breaking into a garage, and they're like, do you know him? And, you know, out of 10,000 people, somebody says, I think that's John Doe.
For Butte Police, pages like this help them investigate crime, especially when people post video.
We've had some success, and we're just going to continue to have more with more and more surveillance systems out there, and more seemingly more and more people wanting to keep an eye on their neighborhood because of the availability of the internet, and they can kind of keep in touch.
So anyone with a smartphone has access to a camera and social media, so they can quickly post something about a crime on social media. And police say this has actually helped them solve cases here in Butte.
We did have a trailer that was stolen that the person had some surveillance. They posted it on Facebook, and fairly shortly afterward we were getting information from the community about who the suspects were, and actually there was an arrest made in that case.
Keeping watch in Butte, John Amy, MTN News.
John tells us Sheriff Lester encourages more neighborhoods in Butte to start up neighborhood watch pages on social media.
And during a Senate Committee on Indian Affairs, Senator Steve Daines spoke about the need for immediate attention to missing and murdered Indigenous women.
He said law enforcement communication needs to improve. The senator also asked the Assistant Secretary of Indian Affairs what is needed to combat the crisis.
We need assistance in removing barriers. We need assistance also when you look at violent crimes and missing and murdered American Indian and Alaska Native women and children. We want to partner with this committee. We want to partner with other federal partners to combat this.
Now, Senator Daines also talked about a resolution he introduced last week to mark May 5th as the National Day of Awareness for Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women.
And lawmakers have delayed action on two of the biggest bills at the 2019 legislature, Medicaid expansion and the so-called Save Colstrip bill.
And those delays probably aren't a coincidence. As MTN's chief political reporter Mike Dennison reports, these bills are becoming part of the final negotiations on how to wrap up the session.
The bill to continue Medicaid expansion had been scheduled for a debate and vote on the Senate floor Wednesday, one of its final steps before heading to the governor's desk. But as the floor session began, GOP leaders announced that the bill had been pulled and the debate rescheduled for Thursday. In the House, a committee also had planned to vote Wednesday afternoon on the Colstrip bill, but that action has been delayed until Friday. GOP leaders and lawmakers cited many reasons for delaying the Medicaid vote, such as waiting for more amendments or for a new summary of the bill's finances. But Republican Senator Dwayne Ankney of Colstrip confirmed to reporters that another reason is concern over whether Governor Bullock, a Democrat, will accept the Colstrip bill, which has been strongly criticized by many Democrats. The Colstrip measure, Senate Bill 331, is meant to encourage Northwestern Energy to buy more of the Colstrip 4 power plant and prolong the plant's life. It does so by guaranteeing that Northwestern can collect up to $75 million from ratepayers over the next 10 years for capital expense at the plant. MTN News asked Bullock Wednesday whether he could support the bill in its current form.
I would say that continue to have skepticism that 331 in its current form is really a good deal for Montana.
But Ankney told MTN News that he spoke with the governor's office earlier Wednesday, and amendments to 331 may be in the works to make it more acceptable to the governor. Other Republican senators, however, said they still expect the Medicaid vote to be close on Thursday. Some Republicans whose votes are needed to pass it are unhappy about a variety of issues still unresolved at the session. Bullock, of course, is a big supporter of Medicaid expansion and has made its passage a top priority. The $700 million a year program provides health coverage to 95,000 low-income Montanans. So, welcome to the last 2 weeks of the session, when tempers get short, votes get close, and deals get made. Or not. But whatever happens, I think we'll be talking about both of these bills until the bitter end. At the Capitol, Mike Dennison, MTN News.
Now, Mike tells us lawmakers also need to pass a state budget and wrap up some other major items as well before the final scheduled day, which is May 1st.
And Gallatin Valley Food Bank workers are wearing orange and wore orange on Wednesday to combat childhood hunger. Now, this is all a part of Fight Childhood Hunger Week, where students throughout the state are working to raise awareness about childhood hunger through Governor Bullock and the First Lady's Youth Hunger Council. Gallatin Valley Food Bank Child Nutrition Programs Director Lila Leidneber says that these actions help combat childhood hunger, which is still an issue even in Gallatin County.
It really pains me to know that there are kids that go home on Fridays and really stress out about where their food might come from, or worry that, oh, well, I have to eat a lot of food during lunch at school during, free lunch so that I can make sure that I'm not hungry over the weekend. Like, I don't ever want to see that for any child.
The Gallatin Valley Food Bank program provides multiple other programs to kids and their families that face food shortages. For more details on how you can get involved, head on over to our websites.
Good stuff there.
It is good stuff, especially on the weekends. Packing up those packs, so they've got something for the weekend. I think it's just great. It is time for a quick break. In a moment, just